Here's what no one tells high-achieving women. Being successful doesn't automatically make you good at dressing yourself. You've mastered every other skill, but this one area still makes you feel like a failure. These 5 steps are specifically designed for women who want to make sure that their appearance matches their accomplishments. Hi, I'm Anna Rova, and I'm a personal stylist who works with successful women who have closets full of clothes, but still feel like they have nothing to wear. After working with hundreds of high-achieving women, here's what I've discovered. The problem isn't that you don't have enough clothes. You just don't know your style, and you don't have a system. In this video, I'm showing you 5 essential steps that every woman needs to learn in order to find her style and to make her wardrobe finally work for her. These aren't just style tips. They're the foundation that will end your morning struggles and help you make sure that your outer appearance matches your inner confidence. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear roadmap to transform your relationship with your closet and get dressed with confidence every single day. Let's dive in. Before I share with you these 5 steps, I really want you to know that these are exactly the 5 steps that I use to work with my personal one-on-one styling clients. When I have a client who wants to work with me to change their style, or they're going through a period of their life where they're discovering their style or becoming someone new or whatever, we start the process with really these 5 steps that I'm going to talk to you about. The first step is to discover your color palette. Color is really, really important. Wearing the right colors, especially near your face, will make your face glow, look alive and radiant. Wearing the wrong colors can make you look really dull and tired. You don't want that. But the question is, how do you discover your own unique personal color palette? Well, there's 2 ways to go about it. Number 1 is to do it yourself, and number 2 is to work with a professional or with professional tools. Now let's talk about tool number 1. Tool number 1 is to discover your skin undertone, and how you do this, you look at natural light, you look at your veins here at the wrist, and if they are of blue or purple color, this means that you have a cool undertone. And if they are of green color, that means that you have a warm undertone. And if you see purple, blue, and green, that means that you're really lucky and that you are warm and cool, that you're neutral. What this means is if you have a cool undertone, that means that you should wear, and the best colors that would suit you are cool colors. The warm undertone, if your veins are green, that means that you should wear, and your best colors are with warm undertones. What are cool and warm undertones? This is something that you can Google, you can teach yourself how to do. I don't really prefer this option because I'm not good at figuring out cool or warm, and I don't want to spend time on it. I always opted to work with a professional with professional tools. Option number 2 is to get a professional color analysis. Now, there's a lot of stylists that do it. There's a lot of agencies that do it, or you can use AI tools to do that as well. And how it works is basically work online. You send some pictures, or you work in person, or with AI tools, you upload your photos and it gives you your color palette. This will be a game changer because at the end, you're basically going to know what is your best color palette. And when you shop for clothes, you will shop for the right colors for you. And you'll see that makes a huge difference. Now, I got to tell you something about color. This color analysis and kind of categorization of people into this is the right color for you and this is the wrong color for you, it's useful. But the modern way of styling and working with people, like how I work with my clients, I also do color analysis. But I tell my clients that this is your foundation. These are kind of the rules, but you can also break the rules, and I've done this myself. The most important thing here with color analysis is to make sure, and again, this is more of a traditional and even outdated advice, to make sure that the colors that you wear close to your face are the right colors and everything else doesn't matter. However, I break those rules myself because color is really about feeling, right? My colors are warm because I'm a fall. I don't even know see, this is how much I use that in my life, and my clients don't use it very much either, because it really, I feel like any categorization, color analysis for body shape, we're going to talk about that later, or anything else, just limits you. I feel like this limits me. Like, for example, I can't wear pink or like cool pink, but I love cool pink, and I find a shirt that when I put it on, it makes me feel amazing, and it suits my styling goals and how I want to feel for the day. I bought it and I wear it and I love it and I don't care. But just keep that in mind, that rules are there and it's good to do it, but then you can also break them. Step number 2 is to discover your style. Now, this is an exercise that I give to all of my clients, and what we do, the purpose of this exercise is to really understand what it is that you like. And I'm going to share a story with you. When I started my styling journey many, many years ago, I joined like a styling program, and the coach or the stylist there told us to go on Pinterest and find something that we like. And I'm like, I have no idea what I like. And what's that process? I want to break it down for you to make sure that you don't feel the same way that I did, because finding your style, and I want to mention here, which is really important, know that finding your style is a continuous journey. and it will evolve. Once you feel like you find your style, life happens, right? You might have a baby, you might get married, you might change careers, close a business, start a business, grow older, turn 40, 50, whatever, right? Your style will change because our style, our outer appearance is a representation of how we feel inside, of how we want to feel inside and express that or create a certain impression depending on your style goals, which we're going to talk about. Finding your style is a really important way to have a system, like I mentioned before in this video. And how do you do that? The first thing here is I invite you to think about a person, like a celebrity, for example. A celebrity is the most useful here, or a certain aesthetic that you like. For example, you might like the style of Hailey Bieber, or you might like the aesthetic of Japanese minimalism, or anything else, like floral, romantic florals, right? Choose either one. I think anybody can think of a celebrity that they like, their style, or they can think about approximately what is an aesthetic that you like. If you're not sure, you can just Google it. So that's step one. Now, step number two, I'm going to share with you a video now, is to go through a specific process using Pinterest. I'm sure you're familiar with Pinterest, to understand what it is that you like about this and how to use it. Let's dive in. I'm going to go to pinterest.com and start typing Hailey Bieber style. And I see what comes up here. And what I'll do, I'll just keep scrolling and looking at all the pictures here and the ones that I really like for example, this one, or let me see, this one, I will save to a board that I called New Style. Okay, my new style, sorry. I'm just going to keep scrolling until I have maybe 15 to 20 pins that I really like from this style that are in my new board. After I've pinned the pins that I like from this celebrity or from this aesthetic, my next step is to look through these pins and look for patterns. I'll do this live with you. For example, when I look at and write it down, okay, when I look at the pins that I have, I can see that in many of these photos, she's wearing blazers. We see it here, we see it here, we see it here. And I really like that. I just write down blazers. Yeah, let me open my notes tab and write it all down. Okay, in my notes, I wrote down blazers. Okay, let's move on and see what else is here. I see a pop of color. Mostly, actually, I see a neutral color palette. As you can see, it's black, it's white, it's beige, it's denim. And the only pops of color I see is this kind of green neon blazer and a pop of color here where I think she's wearing like a blue or purple bag. In this case, I would see small pop of color. Okay. All right, let's see, what else do I see? I see a lot of leg, in most of her, I see a lot of leg. And like here, for example, also shoulders exposed and all of that, especially this one. There's a degree of sexiness here, leg exposure, but not too much. Like, how should I explain it? For example, I don't see a Kim Kardashian style here. I see there is the sex appeal without going overboard, for example. Yeah, look at this. There's a blazer, there's a skirt, she's almost fully covered besides her waist here. Same thing here, right? And of course, the legs is the signature look. I might say legs, and then I can say, actually, about the color, I forgot. Mostly natural color palette with a small pop of color, okay? Legs, and then I said sexiness, I'll call it balanced sexiness. Skin exposed, but compensated by other pieces in the wardrobe. Yeah, this could be enough, but let's see what else is here. We see a bit of structure in her outfit. Like every outfit that you see, there's either a blazer or if there's no blazer, then there's pants and top with vertical lines. You can see almost every outfit is quite structured. There's lines here and actually quite minimalist as well. Yeah, by what I mean by structured is there's this clean vertical or horizontal lines. By minimalism, I mean, you don't see a lot of things here together like prints and accessories and this and that. You don't see a lot of layers, right? That's it. That's all you have to do to analyze what is it that you like about it. Yeah. And then try to spend half an hour to an hour really talking through to a friend about it or recording or put it in the comments, right? It's really important to understand what does that mean if you use the words minimalist or especially classy or feminine. If you use these words that describe a certain style of clothing, explain what this is for you. Okay. That's the exercise in terms of understanding what it is that you like. Now that you've done this exercise and you really understood what it is that you like in a certain style, like in my example with Hailey Bieber, when you shop or you look at your closet or do whatever else with your clothes, you buy new clothes especially, make sure that you follow that specific style because it's going to create coherence in your wardrobe and also going to make sure that everything matches together. Step number 3 is to dress for your body type. Now, when we talk about body shape and how to dress your body shape and how to really dress your body in a way that suits you or you really like, I got to mention here that this is a separate subject and I can create 100 videos on this subject. And it's also a really deep subject and sometimes it can be quite sensitive. The first thing and the main thing that I wanted to share with you about how to dress your body is in today's world, in the modern world, we should forget about body types, the apples, the pears, the shapes, blah, blah, blah. There's a caveat here and I'm going to mention in a moment. But I want you to forget about all that because this is traditional kind of classic styling that many stylists still use. But I think how we dress today, especially, you know, with everything that happened in the last, 10, 20 years in terms of culturally where we have been and where we are right now, it's just dressing according to a fruit or any other kind of weird shape that somebody puts you in is not 2025. Today, you can dress however the hell you like, and it doesn't matter, right? I'm giving you permission to dress in whatever way you like. There's actually no rules, you know, just I mentioned about color and style and whatever. And I think this is amazing because everybody's free to express themselves in a way that they want. That's number 1. Now, having said that, the caveat is just like with color, like I mentioned, you know, I still work with my clients. I do a color analysis because it gives me a foundation or a rule that I can refer to, and then I break the rules if I want to. Same thing here. Simply because, it depends on your styling goals, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, but we all have a body, and knowing how to dress your body well and the objective that you want to achieve with your clothes, because clothes play a crucial role when it comes to creating a certain impression or achieving an objective. For example, if you want to look taller, you can use principles like illusion dressing. I'm going to talk about this in a moment. Or if you want to look shorter or wider or thinner or whatever, you can create this with clothes. And how do you create this with clothes? Well, a very helpful tool is to actually know your body shape. What parts are wider, what parts are slimmer, and work with those proportions. The number 1 tip that I can give you about dressing your body shape is to actually focus on the parts that you love about your body. I invite you to do an exercise, and this could be quite vulnerable, and I do this with all my one-on-one clients as well. I invite you to stand in front of your mirror. Pause this video if you need to. Stand in front of your mirror and really look at your body, wear something that you like, look at your body and find 3 to 5 parts of your body or areas of your body that you really like, that you can accentuate and put all the focus and attention on those areas. For example, for me, I'm quite short, I'm petite, I have lower breasts and lower breasts. What? I have smaller breasts. I don't know why I mentioned smaller breasts. See, even I am conditioned. Why I'm giving you this exercise is because most women, me included, are conditioned to think about what they want to hide. Like immediately my mind went to my small breasts, like who cares, right? But because I have small breasts, my mind immediately goes, I have small breasts, right? And you look there. That's not how we do it. How we do it, and I constantly have to remind myself as well, is we accentuate the parts that we love. For example, I have a really beautiful waist. I have a really beautiful collarbone and my shoulders, and my arms, and I always accentuate that. Whatever I choose, for example, I know that I need to wear high-waisted pants. I always tuck things in. I wear crop tops, things like that. And I always know what neckline suits me best. This is a very flattering neckline for me because it accentuates my shoulders, it accentuates my collarbones and my arms as well. You can do the same. This is the first step. Do this exercise. And if you take nothing else out of the body shape or this video, this is going to be the most important thing. Because again, you don't need to know all the rules. Dress for and accentuate the body parts that you love. For example, if you love your breasts, they're really beautiful, make sure that you accentuate this. Of course, there's a way to do it in a nice, classy way, which is, you can check out all my other videos about that. Or if you have really beautiful hips, you accentuate the hips and so on and so forth with shape, textures, patterns, colors, and so on. For example, let's talk about the most common body shape, which is the triangle, which means that the top of your body means shoulders are narrower than your hips. Many women, many celebrities have that body shape. And the idea is that you need to find balance. The traditional hourglass figures, to say, where it's like your shoulder, that 90-60-90 kind of the supermodel body is traditionally the most balanced body, yeah? The most attractive body, so to say. But again, everything I'm saying, please take it with a grain of salt, because as I mentioned again, rules can be broken. You can wear whatever the hell you like. But let's talk about the traditional ways of dressing the body, which is, the hourglass shape, because it's the most attractive, it's the most pleasing to the eye, and so on and so forth. If you have a triangle shape, this means that obviously your body is out of balance. If you think about the most flattering body shape for a woman, which is an hourglass, your shoulders have to be the same width as your hips. And then, of course, your midsection, which is your waist, is the narrowest point of the body. If you have a triangle shape, that means that we need to use illusion dressing principles to make sure that we put more accent on the top of your body, means on your shoulders and your breasts and the top of your body, so that we can dress you proportionally, so that your body shape or your silhouette comes closer and closer to the ideal body shape. Does that make sense? This is the same principle actually used in makeup and any other, in plastic surgery, yeah, in any other profession where you want to make sure that you come more and more balanced. This is important because you can use illusion dressing principles to correct your shape. What I mean is, as I mentioned with the triangle, you make sure that at the top of your body, more accent. Now, how do you put more accent on the top of the body if you have a shape that is a triangle shape? You start wearing perhaps bolder colors on the top of your body. You add texture, you add raffles. You can use any sort of, basically more bolder, brighter, more attention on the top, less attention on the bottom. The same thing goes if your shape is the reverse, which means that you're wider in the shoulders but narrow on your hips. I'm hoping this is making sense, okay? The other way you can use illusion dressing and to dress your body shape is, for example, if you want to look taller. Like me, I'm quite petite. What I do with illusion dressing is I wear high-waisted pants because they make, if you wear high-waisted pants, they accentuate my waist, they make my legs look longer. And I also can sometimes wear the same color of my pant match to the shoe because it elongates. If I want a really long look, then I would use color like monochrome dressing, which means head to toe, I'm covered in the same color. That makes me look longer. Does that make sense? The other way to use patterns, for example, if you want to elongate your look, you would use vertical stripes instead of horizontal stripes. If you want to make your look wider, say, for example, my hips are wider than my shoulders, and I want to make sure that I put accent on my shoulders, then I use horizontal stripes in my pattern that I wear at the top of my body. And the last thing I'm going to share here about the body, which is the most important thing actually, is fit. A proper fit of your clothes. It doesn't matter where you're putting accents or what color you're wearing or whatever you're doing, whatever your body shape is. If your clothes do not fit properly, it's going to ruin your whole outfit. There's nothing worse than clothes that are poorly fitted. The other week I was working with a client and she had a style, her old style was like a body hugging style. Nothing wrong with that. And she wanted to change her style. And when we started to do her wardrobe edit and look at her clothes and what she has, she was putting on these body hugging, how she called it, clothes that represented her style. And when I was looking at it, I started to ask her about the size that she's wearing. And it turned out that she was wearing a smaller size that she should be wearing. It didn't look good. No matter what your style is, no matter how you're dressing proportionally, whether you're trendy or whatever, if your size is not right, and if it doesn't fit properly, it's not going to look good. The best advice that I can give you is always get 2 sizes, and then you can decide and you can get a bigger size and then tailor it to your body. Step number 4 is to clarify your style goals. Now, this is so important, and this is probably the most important part of my styling process when I work with clients one-on-one. Because if I do not know what are your style objectives and what are your outcomes from our work together, then it doesn't matter what colors I choose, it doesn't matter how I dress your body shape, it doesn't matter what your style is. Because the same woman who can have the same color palette, say she has the same body shape, more or less, and say she likes the same aesthetic or the same style, but her goals might be completely different. You have to define what are your styling goals, what it is that you want your wardrobe and the style that you have in your closet to say. And it's vastly different, and it will change for you. Style is all about working with identity. If you become a new mom, your whole identity shifts. If you find a new job, if you move countries, if you're in a new relationship, if you're divorced, right? Things happen in life. If you turn 30, 40, 50, things happen in life. When you're working with your closet, you have to know what it is that I want from my style. Questions for you to journal. Number 1, how do you want your wardrobe, your clothes, the clothes in your wardrobe to make you feel? How do you want to feel in these clothes? Write 3 to 5 words, yeah? And then I invite you to think about the next question is, where are you going? What is that next level of you? For example, if you just had a baby and your identity changed, what is that next level of you? Maybe you want to be that mom who, yes, she has a child, but she still wants to look stylish. She wants to put something on, whether she's going grocery shopping or whether she's even breastfeeding or, to the playground. I know I have 2 children. I still want to feel, say, sexy, or I still want to feel powerful and like I'm taking care of myself. There's a lot of new moms go through that. Or if you are newly divorced and you're single and fabulous, and maybe you're looking, well, I guess it's too soon right after divorce to look for a partner. But let's say you are divorced and you want your style to really reflect the fact that you're now single and fabulous and you can do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. So that's important. Or if you're looking for a relationship and you're single, you want to find a partner, you want to find a family, you want your wardrobe to reflect that. And of course, in reality, we might have many different goals, but I invite you to focus on the most important one and think about what is that next level self? Where are you going? Like if you think about the next 3 to 5 years in this specific journey of your life, Where do you see that? Where do you see yourself, and how do you want your style to reflect that? And also there's practical things, like write 3 to 5 or actually 1 to 3 practical things that you want out of your closet. One of the most common objectives or outcome my clients come to me for is they say that I want a wardrobe that makes me feel like the next version of me, which we talked about, and then we talk about their lifestyles and so forth. And then they also talk about, I want, when I open the wardrobe, I don't want to think for half an hour what I want to wear. I want my wardrobe to reflect who I am, but also to make sure that it's easy for me to dress in the morning, where everything matches together. Does that make sense? And the other thing they say, I want to know how to dress for my body shape. I want to know what my style is, and I want all to be kind of seamless and put together. One of the most important things also is to make sure that your wardrobe, and this is kind of in this category of your objectives, to make sure that your wardrobe fits your lifestyle. For example, if you work at home most of the time and then you spend casually time with friends or boyfriends and you go out and most of your wardrobe is like corporate clothes from, 2 years ago before COVID, or how many years was that? 5 years ago before COVID, like that's not a closet that's achieving your goals. Okay, and step number 5 is to do your wardrobe edit. Now, I was debating to include this step or not, but I think it's really important because essentially the 4 steps that we already talked about are enough to find your style and change your relationship to your closet, which is, let's repeat them. You find your color palette, you find your style, visually what you like, you realize or discover how to dress your body shape, and you also define your outcome goals. Together, like these are the ingredients, and together they create this beautiful wardrobe and that reflects you. So now that you have that, you have a clear picture, you have to go to your closet, and besides the title of this video, without money, like how to find your style without shopping. Yeah. My guess is that 80% of the time you can find pieces in your wardrobe that reflect all of these 4. And there might be just a few pieces that reflect these 4 categories, or there might be a lot of pieces depending on the size of your wardrobe and what is in the wardrobe. What I'd like you to do, and I do this after we've defined all of these 4 main important things, the second step that I work with all of my clients, you have to go into your wardrobe and you have to do the wardrobe edit in order to, number 1, get rid of anything that doesn't suit any of these 4 categories. And number 2, to make sure that obviously the clothes that you have in your wardrobe now represent you and your color palette, your body shape, or how to dress your body shape, your objectives, and your style. That's how you do. You go to your wardrobe and you basically, I give you the details, know that every single time I do this with my clients, and I do it with them visually on a call, I cannot tell you what messages I get after this process. They say that they feel a lot lighter. Obviously, you're going to feel a bit sad for letting old clothes go. I had women that I work with that have dresses in their closets that they didn't wear for 15 years. I have women who have that yellow dress that she doesn't know how to wear, whatever, still have their tags on that she bought 2 years ago. Obviously, she can't return them. So important to do that. And most women I know have, that's why you have a closet full of clothes and you feel like there's nothing to wear because it's complete chaos, because you don't have a system. After you've discovered these 4 things, then you go to your closet and you basically take all of your clothes out and you divide them into the categories: tops, bottoms, dresses or jumpsuits, outerwear, accessories, blah, blah, blah. And you run every single category through these 4 criteria. This is what I do with my clients online on a Zoom call. You look at your tops and you're like, you put it on, and then you're like, does this top suit my color? Now, again, we talked about color. You can make the decision, okay, this is totally not my color, I get rid of it. Or you're like, not my color, but it fits my body shape, it fits my style, and it fits my goals, then I leave it, yeah? And then you do this with every single piece, and you create 3 piles: a yes pile, a maybe pile, and a no pile. A no pile you can donate, give away, sell, and then you can either work with a stylist like me or find any other stylist, or you can work with a friend to kind of help them, but make sure that friend understands. Like, give your friend, write notes and give your friend, I want you to help me elaborate this according to these criteria. And then that means that you've gotten rid of everything that doesn't fit your color palette, that doesn't fit your goals, your style, and your body shape. And now you have a wardrobe that's beautiful and that reflects who you are. And last thing I want to tell you here is that know that you don't need to have a lot. You literally can have, you can create a capsule wardrobe where everything matches together and so on and so forth. You can have a few bottoms, a few tops, a few outerwear. It can be very minimalist. You could have a small wardrobe, but if it's intentional and thought out, it's going to give you so much more, like cost per wear, than you think. And of course, you also have to make sure that these pieces are quality. It's better to have like 4 pairs of pants and really quality pants and maybe invest in them a little bit more than to have like 15 pairs of pants that most of us have in your wardrobe, and then it's complete chaos. You don't wear these 15 pants. One rule that I want to leave you with is knowing that we only wear 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time. Think about that. And the reason is because we haven't thought about our wardrobe, and it's complete fucking chaos. I don't know if I can swear on YouTube, but that's it. There you go. These are the 5 essential steps to find your style and to completely transform your relationship with your wardrobe so that you never have to say again, I have nothing to wear. And if you want ongoing support with your style journey and to make sure that you find the right style that represents you and the successful woman that you are, I invite you to join my free community. I have a free styling community where I give tips, I share case studies, we do calls, and I support women exactly like you who want to make sure that their wardrobe represents themselves and they don't sit in their head thinking about what to wear. The link in the description on how to join my community. I hope to see you there. And before you go, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so that I am more motivated and inspired to create videos like this for you.